continues to play a very fundamental role in people's everyday lives, but cash has gone digital. So people simply have to learn more about this method. To take us through this morning on Talking Point, we have three guests. We have Albert Paul of the National Cooperative Credit Union, NCCU. We also have Lilia Samuel, who represents the Credit Union League, and Nelisa Dorival is the Executive Manager, Banking Services at the National Bank of Dominica. So let me welcome all of you, and let me first of all give you the opportunity to introduce yourselves properly and tell us about the institution that you represent and your line of duty there as well. We'll start with the ladies first, okay? All right. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning, listeners to DBS and Kyrie FM. My name is Nelisa Dorival, and I'm the Executive Manager at Banking Services at the National Bank of Dominica. I've been with the bank for the past 22 years, so I've been here throughout the journey, the digital journey with the bank. And it's my pleasure this morning to talk more with you and to educate you about this digital journey.
All right. 22 years at the bank already. I can remember around the time when you started, but that's another story. By the way, let me just also say good morning to listeners on Kyrie FM, viewers more so, because I think Kyrie FM is doing this via social media. Yesterday we were on radio and social media with Kyrie FM, but I think today the preference for them, because of the arrangements that they would have prior, is social media. So we welcome Kyrie FM as well. The next lady, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lilia Samuel, Marketing Manager for MLAJA. And MLAJA is a subsidiary of the Dominica Cooperative Societies League. So my expertise, I represent two companies today, but at the end of the day, I represent the apex body of the credit union movement. Today is Tuesday, and I normally say on a Tuesday that Tuesday is MLAJA Tuesday. So that means everything about an application, how to sign up. That is my job. It is my pleasure to inform Dominicans on what is going on in the credit union movement.
You say Marketing Manager MLAJA, right?
MLAJA. Mm-hmm. So I represent the Dominica Cooperative Societies League because we are a subsidiary of the league.
All right. And it's Tuesdays, MLAJA Tuesdays?
Yes. Like that? Every Tuesday we host a radio show, so I call it MLAJA Tuesdays.
Okay, so it falls in line nicely with this information.
Yes, it does.
All right. Albert Paul of the National Cooperative Credit Union, it is a pleasure to have you. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to all listeners, and good morning to the members of the National Cooperative Credit Union. My name is Albert Paul. I'm the Loans Manager for the National Cooperative Credit Union. I've been at the institution for many years, a lot longer than my colleague here, about 25 years. Well, we're here to talk about cash, and you're wondering why would a loans manager be talking about cash? Well, it's all about managing your money and looking at your money grow and using your money wisely. So that's what we're here to talk about. And we're also here to talk about which is best. Mm-hmm. Is it cash or is it an app? And I suppose as the program goes on, sure, we'll get to know a bit more about that.
Mm-hmm. So now help us, all three of you, better understand this topic this morning. There are several things that we want to discuss throughout this hour. But help us understand the topic in what I would call a broader context. What should we concern ourselves with when we hear cash or app? Why does your institution see this discussion as being important?
Okay, I will start. So first of all,
that's NBD.
NBD, yes. Our digital banking platform is called MoBanking, and it's known to all preschoolers, from preschool to elderly. Everybody knows MoBanking is like a household name, and it's like a second currency in Dominica. But we do understand that with digital, there will be early adopters and there will be late adopters. There will be people who are technically savvy and there will be people who prefer cash. So
there are people who are setting their ways and will tell you, no way, it's for me, it's business as usual.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it's striking the balance and acknowledging the benefits of the pros and cons of both, and making a good decision for yourself based on what transaction that you are engaging in.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's hear from you, MLAJA.
Okay, so at MLAJA, at the league, it started at the league. The vision is that we created an app, an all-inclusive app. So
when you say it started at the league, the idea was born there.
Yes,
Okay.
the idea was born at the league
Okay.
before they gave the name to MLAJA.
Okay.
So how we figure it works is all persons are interested in, doing their daily financial transactions. They want to pay their bills, they want to shop at supermarkets. So what we decided to do is create an all-inclusive app that allow persons to do the same financial transaction with an application on their cell phone. So instead of going to the supermarket and pulling out your cash from your wallets, you can simply scan a QR code and pay for that grocery bill. You can pay your Dowasco bill online. You can top up your phone within the application. So what we're doing is creating an alternative payment platform. We are not replacing cash because we are Caribbean culture, and we know in the Caribbean culture a lot of persons prefer their cash. But what we did is just created an alternative payment platform that allow persons who are more technologically savvy, and even those older persons, the opportunity to be more modernized when it comes to payment. That's all we're doing.
Okay. Yes, Albert Paul, it is obvious that the world is facing what I would call rapid changes in technology. Nowadays, many people of us are moving towards a cashless environment, if I could call it that. Although, as we know, it is not easy to convert everybody to go that way. Obviously not. But are you seeing a lot of this in Dominica? Do you get the sense that many people still prefer, as we mentioned earlier, stick to business as usual?
Well, I'm happy that you said that. Well, actually, there's always a need for cash. And I don't think that the apps are meant to take cash off the table completely. What they're meant to do is for convenience. We saw after, for instance, Hurricane Maria, when a lot of banks were closed, the systems were down, buildings were destroyed, so you couldn't actually go to the bank and access your money. So you need to have something what we call petty cash on the side at home. So there's always a need to have some level of cash at your home, be it coins in a piggy bank or something under your mattress or buried in the yard somewhere. You always need to have cash. But as I said, it's about convenience, because we notice, especially around month ends, that most of the financial institutions, the supermarkets, they're always filled. So if you can do those services at your convenience, midnight and whatever time it is, then it's better for you. So that's what we're trying to get the generation to understand, that yes, there's a need for cash, but then there's also a need for convenience and doing things better. And we say in local parlance that you need to macro your money. So you need to always, so you need to monitor your money. You need to know what's happening, because we feel like hundreds of calls every day. Jane is calling, John is calling. Okay, what about this transaction? What happened to this deposit I made? If you have the app, you could simply log on, check your account, and that takes away, because I know a complaint that we get, especially in the financial institutions, is that we don't answer our phones. It's not that we don't answer our phones. It's the fact that we get so many calls that it's often difficult to field all the calls.
So it's, any given day you may be inundated with calls.
Yeah, thousands of calls come in. Okay, why is there 10 cents on my account? Why is this 1 cent missing? And all those things. So we need people to be able to get in the culture of actually having those things at your fingertip. Mm-hmm. So if you have a question, you call, you instead of calling in, you pull up your app, you look at your account, and then you get satisfied. Is there something else that you need to do? Then obviously you need to visit the bank. But that's what the apps are for, all about convenience.
Mm-hmm. All right, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We're having this discussion this morning as we look at cash, online application, and there's a lot that we want to talk about this morning as far as this is concerned. We want to maybe take you through some steps, and especially the elderly, get them, to realize that they don't normally or have to always go to places face to face, So many times they would maybe pay the bus or come down to town, or if they're in town, they have to make sure that they go to the bank, face to face, or they go to the utility companies to pay their bills. So even that, I guess, you can help them with as well, because really that level of convenience it provides, I think it really augurs well for doing business, at a quicker pace, getting things done and faster. So when it comes to managing money, would you say it is not about how you spend your money, but more about how you choose to pay with your money?
That is correct, yes. Another thing that I like to imagine, I imagine like your money as a child. Mm-hmm. So you need to take your child from primary school, preschool, primary school, all the way up to doctorate. Because doctorate meaning that at the end of your life, or the latter stages of your life, that's what you need to actually take care of all your expenses. So you need a doctor to actually take care of all your expenses, your
Not
medicine.
necessarily a doctor, yeah? I mean, I understand where you're going,
Yeah.
but you know, sometimes like long ago, your parents would say you have to become a doctor or a nurse,
Well,
you know, somebody for a white collar job or
yeah,
something like that.
but you need somebody or need something to
Yeah,
actually take care of
of
those,
course,
of those
of
things.
course.
So that's what you need. And the apps offer you the ability to actually monitor and manage your finances a little bit better, because you could pay your loans at your convenience. You could do transfers. You could put money aside. You could even regulate. I know a lot of the other apps give you that ability to actually change your savings. So say, for instance, your customer saving $50 a month, you could change it to $25 a month. Depends on what the situation is. So that's the convenience, and that's the what the apps offer you. So that's what we're trying to get the people to understand, that it's not taking away from the norm, which is coming to your financial institution and discussing with seeing somebody face to face, but it affords you a little bit more, because a lot of times when you come to the bank, you're behind the counter. So you don't necessarily see what is happening, what the clerks are doing. And some of us in our culture, we believe that, okay, they're probably doing something complex or complicated that we don't know about. With the apps, you actually get to see your account. You see, let's just say, for all intents and purposes, what is happening behind the scenes. So, yeah, that is the benefit of the app.
All right. Okay, so let us hear from Emla Jado. Let us look at the online application and what you have at your institution, what's available to the customer. How do you get more people to use this online platform to do business, you know, to pay bills, to conduct transactions?
Well, the main thing for us, the app is all about convenience. You know, we always tell persons, what if you could be anywhere in Dominica and use your app to pay your bill? So you could be at the beach, you could be at the river, you could be on your couch, wherever you are, and you can use your app to not only pay your Dowasco bill or top up your phone, and it could be for either provider. You can also, for example, you want to send some money to somebody who is all the way in Portsmouth and you're all the way in Soufriere. You simply just search the person's name, put in their number, you click pay, and they get that money within 2 to 3 seconds, real time. The app also allows persons who do not have the application the ability to receive money. So, for example, I have the app and you do not. I am able to send you, let's say, $30. You now can go to any of our agents, and the agents are the credit unions. So you can go to any of the 28 or 20, we're currently 28 credit unions along the island, and you can say, hey, I want to cash out. You simply go to the teller, you give them your code, they pull up your name in the system, and they hand you that cash. So the application is about convenience. It is making your life easier. It is not about competition or trying to replace cash. It is just giving you, as I said earlier, an alternative.
In terms of the NBD, Dorival, tell us what is in place in terms of the online application, and how do you help customers, encourage them to use this?
All right. With Mo Banking, it's an all-inclusive banking service which is available at your fingertips, either on your phone or on your computer. And gradually, as time goes by, we encourage customers, if there's anything that you want to do that you currently are unable to do on Mo Banking, let us know, because it's a continuous improvement and we are gradually looking at the system to improve. Some of as my colleagues spoke about, convenience is the number one advantage. It's 24/7 access. So whether a physical branch is open or not, you can do your banking at any time. It also provides a form of automation, so you can set up standing orders. So for instance, you know that your cable bill is due on the 10th of every month. You can set up a standing order, so by the 9th or the 8th, you know that your bill is paid. You don't even have to think about it. Another big pro for the online banking is risk. It allows you to manage your risk. So Albert mentioned earlier going on to check your account and see what's happening. But you know now we've been having a lot of fraudulent activity going on. Somebody gets access to your account number or your card. They access your account. You get an alert immediately with online banking. So somebody uses your card in China, in Russia online, right away you get that alert. You sit watching your TV, you say, wow, I didn't do that transaction. So you then contact the bank and we can resolve and refund you for your money. Whereas in the past, you would have to wait 30 days till you get your statement and then you see the transaction. So it's a form of risk management, both for the card holder and for the merchants as well. Because just over the weekend, we heard of a robbery at one of the supermarkets in Roseau. If we were to gradually move away from cash, that would the robbers would have no incentive to come to rob our business places, because the money goes to your account right away, and there's no need to hold that large amount of cash and to pay for security cost and counting cost, etc.
Because even going to the bank, say you want to do a transaction at the bank and you have a big wallet with a lot of dollar bills, and so the teller has to be counting all of these thousands and thousands and thousands, whereas it would be easier if you use, as we said, the online application. Let's see if this person wants to share with us, even before we continue, and we'll move on. Good morning. Talking point.
Yes, good morning. On the mobile banking, I'm wondering if it would be possible to transfer money from your credit card to your debit card. Because that would avoid you from getting a $10 charge fee when you withdraw. Because sometimes you have an emergency and you have to withdraw from your credit card. But if you transfer it from credit card to debit card on mobile banking, you should escape that $10 fee. And it's more convenient for the customer.
All right, that's it? Okay, let him answer. Yes, thanks for your contribution.
Yes, thanks, caller, for this, because this is actually something that we have in development now. So as I said, as we collect feedback from our customers, we use that feedback and develop the app. So we
have to see how we can save every little
right. So some of the things that we are working on is this one, with more interactive with our credit cards. You'll be able to change your PIN numbers, etc. So that will be coming on soon. And other stuff like checking your currency rates online. So customers usually call the bank to say, what is the euro rate of the day? Now our rates are published on our website, but we want to make the app a full one-stop shop. So that is one of the things that we are also looking to add. So those things are in progress, coming soon.
Albert Paul, take us through the process for the NCCU. Or someone is interested. They come to the NCCU. What is the first step? Where do they have to go to? Who do they have to ask? Do they have to ask one?
You would normally go to member services. That's where the banking term that we use. You're onboarded. You become part of the family. So you go to member services. That's where you open accounts. You get statements and that sort of thing. And that's also where you do the online application. So you fill out an online application form. It is reviewed by a supervisor and the manager, and then you're sent your credentials via the email address that you would have provided. With our online, it's called CU Online. We are not as expansive. We don't offer as many of the services that Mo Banking offers. Of course, all those things I will pull a phrase, are in development.
I like that.
But we do what we're trying to do in the first instance is allow members to, because as I said, the major complaint that we have is the length of our lines, the carnival that we normally have every day in the credit union. So we're trying to avoid. We're trying to get the culture that yes, you could do your transactions, but you can also do it from the comfort of your home. You could watch Young and Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful and all those. I don't know if those things still go on, but I used to look at it before with my grandmother. Yeah, so you could sit down, cook your food, or even while you're at your office, because sometimes you may be at a business meeting and then you realize, no, I forgot to do this transaction. So you could quickly pull your phone and you could do. So that is a convenience.
And the hairdresser under the dryer.
Right.
Go ahead.
So that is it. So you come to open the online account or to apply for the online, and then once you're online, then you use the app 24/7 as they say. No restrictions. There are no costs for using the app, and that's a very important thing that we have to point out, that there's absolutely no cost to actually signing up for the app and using the app. Again, as I said,
no hidden fees.
No hidden fees. No, and we're offering more capabilities with the app as we move along. We're also moving into getting a phone app, So right now you can only log on online via your browser, but we have an app in production, and with the app we're going to get in a lot of other things, the ability to pay your bills and now do transfers between a third party and that sort of thing. So all those things are in development, and the whole aim is to try to get members to understand that yes, your cash is safe, but you can also verify that your cash is safe just by pulling up an app and sitting at your desk or at your home.
All right, let's go to the telephone again. Good morning. Talking point. Hello? Okay, that person will have to, let's see.
I'm right here.
Okay,
Hello?
all right, I'm hearing you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, just wanted to say thank you for this fantastic program, because I'm one of the advocates of a cashless society. But I have two questions for your panel. One for NBD. I heard earlier Ms. Dorval spoke about people swiping their cards and the to avoid theft, like what happened at an institution earlier this week or last week, that the money gets directly deposited into the business's account. As a business owner with a machine, I would like to ask why it is that it takes sometimes 2 days for those amounts which are supposedly directly deducted from the client's account to actually show up on your account, because that is an issue that we have as small businesses with limited cash flow, that sometimes it takes 2 days before card transactions actually post to the commercial account. That's for the NBD. And the question for NCCU is, when will the NCCU bring on corporate online banking? Because I know they have it for sole proprietorships, but for businesses that have, for example, more than one director, we still do not have access to online banking. So is there a timeline that he can give us that would be forthcoming? Thank you.
All right, she's well versed in all of this. Thanks for your contribution. So questions are plenty.
Okay, so the caller spoke about the delay in receiving settlement, but she was referring to card transactions. And earlier when I spoke, I was speaking about the online banking transactions, and that's the difference between the two. So for the online banking, the money is settled right away. So if the merchant has Mo Banking, the money hits your account right away.
Instantly.
Right. For the card transactions, however, there is a settlement process that the card brands MasterCard and Visa have in place, and the transaction has to be routed through that settlement process. Hence the small delay of a couple of days. So this is the difference between the two.
So 2 days max in terms of the delay, 2 days maximum?
Some banks, the merchants are required to close their batch at the end of whenever, if they do it weekly or daily. Some banks close the batch automatically. So it depends on the bank that you are registered with and the process that they have in place. But I would like to encourage the caller to register for Mo Banking, so that her transactions will get settled earlier.
All right.
Yes, the member, well, I'm saying member because I know she's a member. Because
you have to know your members.
The member said that she wanted to look into corporate banking. Well, you have to remember that the credit union is a financial institution, yes, but it's also cooperative first. So our main focus is always the members. And yes, we do allow you to open business accounts and corporate accounts, as they're called in the bank. But a lot of the services that a member may enjoy, a business may not necessarily be able to enjoy it. But I do understand what she's saying, and these are things that we've been discussing, and we're hoping that at least by the start of the first quarter next year, that we have all those services and everything ironed out so that we can have it launched the membership. But we have to remember that whenever you have a business, most businesses normally have at least one or two, or at least two signatories to the account.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a conflict involved in terms of giving one person access to the account as opposed to giving the two signatories. So all those things have to be ironed out in terms of authentication. So if you have a business with two signatories and then one individual actually has full control of the online banking, you may find that, okay, this person can unilaterally make decisions, do transfers without the involvement of the other person. So all those things are things that we have to actually iron out before we launch it in the app. But it is a good service because I know businesses as well as as an individual member would want to know what's happening with their finances. And then a lot of businesses do not have the time, because if you're a small and growing business, you don't have the time to come to stand in line or sit as a teller and get all that little bits of information to print a statement. Sometimes you may have to file your income tax returns, you need a statement. So all those things are things that the online app is going to afford you. So once we have the authentication process ironed out, that if there are two signatories, that yes, one signatory can log on, but he cannot actually access the account without the authentication of the other signatory who get a code or something to that effect. Then we'll offer those services to the member, and it's a good idea. I think that if we're talking about 24-hour access, I mean everybody needs 24-hour access to their money.
All right, let's go to the telephone. DBS Radio Talking Point. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Very interesting topic there. But then two questions. One, on the last point you raised, I agree. You need to have two signatories to do certain transactions. But what about if the account gets doubled? Sometimes the other person is busy at the bank, and I go to the bank to reactivate, and they say you have to get the two signatories. The other thing is, usually they ask you to get a very strong password. How often can one change the password? Or if so, is there a time limit on the passwords? Thank you very much. I'm listening.
All right. Thanks for your contributions.
Well, I'll probably take this one. Passwords are something that are unique to you, and it's advisable to rotate your password or change your passwords as often as possible, because we have some very innovative and everybody wants what you have, which is your money. So as much as possible, try to rotate change your passwords frequently, and make sure that they're passwords that are strong and passwords that you can remember, because we have the case of a lot of members changing their passwords because they want that level of security, but they can't remember what their passwords are. And depends on what particular service that you have. For instance, if you forget your PIN for your card, you may not be able to repin your card, or if you forget your ID for your online, we may not be able to give you. We may have to reset it. So all those things are things that you have to keep in mind. So I believe that changing passwords are a good thing. I know my friend from NBD is going to.
I would like to add for the passwords, more and more we see the world gravitating towards passphrases, because they're a bit more secure. So instead of having that one word as your password, or that one number, you have like a sentence. Let's say instead of having your online as your password or your birth date,
and your daughter's birthday, and you add that.
Right,
that's
you have
easy.
I love Paul.
Wow.
And instead of that O in love, instead of that 0, you put in an O.
Yes.
So these are the ways, and it's a bit easier to remember. It's a bit more secure because there's more characters and more difficult for the fraudsters to penetrate.
Right.
Wow. Mlaja?
Yes, we always encourage persons, do not start your PIN with 0. It is one of the easiest PIN codes to crack if you start your PIN with 0425. We always encourage persons to change their PINs. Remember their
So you
PIN
say it's one of the easiest codes to crack?
What we have noticed in the finance app is that when it comes to fraudulent activities, persons normally start with 0, because it is for example, somebody might put their PIN as 0203. It is very easy to crack. So we always encourage persons to use. They have things online that you can go in. They give you password generators. So you search online on Google or anything, and you look for password generators. They normally give you 16 characters or more. But also when you have those 16 characters, please remember it or store it in a safe place. And a safe place does not mean at the back of your cell phone or in your phone, in your notes as passwords. We encourage you to store your passwords in safe places, so you can have it backed up to your account. If you have a Google account, you can back it up on whatever you choose to label it as. But please do not store your pins in your purse, your wallet, or behind your cell phone. So we always encourage persons to change their pin, as you said, regularly. Something you can, as I said, you can use the password generator. That is also important, 16 characters, or as Ms. Dorival said you can use the phrase. I like that one. So you can use I love you, Paul, but instead of love in the O, you put a 0. That is something to do. Something that persons will not remember. No, you don't want to put in your birth date, as you said, or your daughter's birth date, or your husband's birth date, because those things that persons can easily go onto your social media and pull up all your information. Also, we encourage persons, do not fill in on social media. You notice a lot of quizzes. So they ask you, what is your husband's birth date? What is your favorite pet's name? What is your mother's middle name? We encourage you, do not fill in those information, because those are scammers looking to capture your personal information.
That's true.
Wow, very interesting. Someone is asking though, and it's important what you just mentioned, both of you. You have to change your password, your PIN number regularly.
Yes.
I think my head is hard though, because even when the bank calls me to change my card because it has expired, I use the same.
Oh no.
So anyway, yeah.
Oh, and just a note, I know a lot of our members, what the assumption is that there's a vault at the bank or the financial institution that holds all your passwords. So whenever they come in, I forgot my password, just go at the back and you're supposed to get it and write it down. No, this is a password unique to
That's
you.
yours.
So once you've changed the password, once you've been given a temporary password to actually log on, once you've changed your password, then that
That's
becomes
it.
unique to you. So it's lost in time if you don't remember it.
I know people who have lost
Yeah.
a lot because
Yeah.
they could not even remember their password.
Right. So keep your password, change your passwords regularly, but also keep it in a safe area where you could remember it and then you could access it.
All
And
right. Interesting discussion, and we partner with Kyrie FM as well. Kyrie FM currently is on social media. Someone is asking via WhatsApp, why is the NCCU, I guess the person wanted to write, why did the NCCU had to stop the MLAJA? I think that's the person has MLAJA, but I guess it's MLAJA. But help me, is this correct?
well, it's not necessarily stopped. We're just working. We're just fine tuning the
Okay.
service, as it were.
All
So it'll be back. Well,
Under
my friend is-
construction, we
Under
can call it?
construction. Under construction. Yeah.
But persons who are NCCU members who have signed up for the CU online portal, they can fund their wallet, their MLAJA wallet, via the CU online portal.
So let us look at the most popular methods of payment, online payment methods. So we said debit cards, right? Credit cards, what again? The digital wallets, what again do we have? That is it basically in terms of what we have here?
Yes, those are the main ones.
Right.
Okay, all right. So MLAJA would have started this long ago, and you mentioned that. In terms of where we are now, would you have to say that sort of enhance that platform throughout the time span?
Well,
in terms of when you started to know, would you have done a lot to upgrade, to enhance?
Yes, because the app is a developing app. So we normally take in the customer's feedback. Persons normally meet you on the road and say, hey, what about this feature? What about that feature? So what we have done is every so often our customers or users will get a notification saying, please update your wallet. So that means that we have put on something new in the system. So when we started, for example, you could pay your DOWASCO bill, but you could not top up your phone. But now you can also top up your phone. You know, before you could not do what is called repayment. That means, as she mentioned earlier, Ms. Dorival mentioned, if you have a bill that you pay, a recurring bill, and you want to set it up. When the app started, you could not do that. Yes, you could pay your bill, but you could not have it as a recurring bill. So every 5th of the month, you can now do that. You have some issue with customer service. Before you'd have to call us or send us a WhatsApp. Now, within the application, there is a feature where you can send us a message within the application. So we listen to the feedback of the customers and also our merchants, because we also serve two persons. We serve the customers and the merchants. And every time they give us the feedback, you know, we have a meeting, we have a discussion, and we go back to the developers and say, hey, you know, we believe that we should include the feature. So I always encourage persons, anything you see that or you would like to see within the application, send us a message, reach out to us. We love those kind of comments and feedback.
I like this. Okay, let's go to the telephone again. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Yeah, good morning. Very good program.
Yes,
Are
thank
you
you.
hearing-
Yes, thank
Are
you.
you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. To the personnel, you have somebody from the credit union, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. In connection with the online portal, online banking, the CU online banking. Now, you are registered. You have a user ID and you have a password. Now, in the registration, if you want to go into your account, you know your ID, you know your password, but you also have what you call some security questions that may be asked or whatever. But why is it that when you log in, you still are required to answer your security question when you know what your password is? Yes, maybe if I answer myself, somebody may hack into your account and whatnot and maybe believe, it would be somebody else. So if the person doesn't know your security question, they may not get access. But, this is happening to me on many occasions. I know my user ID and I know what my password is, but it still asks for your security question. And then it comes to your either email or a message. Thank you.
Thank you, member,
Thanks
for the
your
question.
contribution.
Well, again, it all has to do with security, because these platforms, as I said, there are tons of people that the job every day is to sit down and try to figure out how we're going to crack, how we're going to get access to the person's financing. And the authentication that you spoke of, we do have those levels of authentication, but the standard is that an email is sent to you or text, and then you get an authentication code that you enter while you're logging on. We may have to change your settings, so I'd welcome you to come to the credit union so we could look at your account. So we may have to change your settings so that you get the authentication code simply to your text via text or to your email. Because answering the security question, that itself poses a risk, because after some time you get familiar with it and people around you get familiar with it as well. You know that they know that your security answer to security question is dog or Jim or whatever it is. So they get familiar with that, so they may be able to access your account. So all those things are things that that you need to change.
People have a lot of schemes,
Oh yes,
Sometimes some people they're just like made for this thing, Just look at your every move. Sometimes your vehicle number, they know your birthday, they know your relative's birthday, and people just.
So it may seem it may seem tedious, but you have your user ID, you have your password, but then you get that third level of security where you get a code that either comes to your email or you get via text, and we would assume that all your telephone and your email is unique to you, so you are the only one that will receive that. If of course you do have, because I know a lot of emails are linked, all those things are things that you have to be cognizant of. That if you for instance you have a joint email address that you use with your wife or your daughter, be aware of those things, because if those codes come to those email address and somebody has access to it, then they may be able to access your account. So the banks will offer you security, or the financial institution will offer you security, but the owners, the main
really on you.
It rests with you. You need to secure yourself.
Someone is also asking, I think the same person who asked about the MLAJA, now that the NCCU been stopped for a while. The person is also asking, why did the NCCU stop the now for now loans? That's a different story, but let me just take this call. Good morning, Talking Point.
Morning, Yvonne, and morning to your guests.
To you as well, good morning.
As I always say, Yvonne, it doesn't matter how sometimes the banks change their code, they change certain things. You have people who live day and night learning how to undo and to speak. So every day, that is what happens. These are people there. So, and a question I want to ask Yvonne, which one of your guests is mentioning a 0 and a O. What is the difference between a 0 and an O?
You're asking?
Yes.
What is the difference between a 0 and an O?
Yes, because a O is a O, and then a 0 is a 0. So what is the difference? Because you're saying do not start your PIN number with a O or a 0, because it is easily accessed as if. So what is the difference?
Okay, so let me give them the opportunity to answer, because that's what they are here for. I mean, I know the answer, but yes, go ahead with an explanation, the difference.
Most passwords have a minimum criteria. So you need a special character, you need a capital letter, you need at least one number, and then words. So if you just put the sentence, I love Paul, that's only words. so it does not meet the minimum criteria for the password, the computer will not accept it. So you have to fill in that sentence with numbers among those letters, and also sometimes special characters as well. So this is the reason why. But I would like to add though that based on the records that we've seen, most times the weakest link in the security of your information is the user. So for instance, we have a lot of phishing emails, and phishing is when you get an email purporting to be from your financial institution, but it's actually a fraudster who is sending you that email asking you to click a link. So that's why we encourage our customers, do not click any links. We will never ask you for your password. We will never ask you for your information, because that's your information. Anytime you get an email that's asking you to do those things, delete and do not act on it, because that is where you are giving you're telling the fraudster your information. It's like a robber walking up to your front door. While you may have the most sophisticated security system, they knock on the door with their mask on their face, you open the door and you let them in. So that is how I can describe it.
Anyone that wants to add to this, especially with the O and the 0, and you wanna put your 2 cents in?
I think my colleague, she pretty much answered. And it's about characters too, because I mean the keyboards normally would recognize what an O is and what a 0 is. So there is a difference whenever if you talk in computer language. I am not in IT, but if you type in an O instead of a 0 instead of an O, the computer will recognize what it is, but the individual who's trying to hack into your account may not necessarily, so he may figure, well, it's I love, and love has an O, and love doesn't have a 0, or love doesn't have a 2, or an @ sign, or whatever it is. So, yeah, it's about character. So all that is a level of security that you offer to sort of like fool the individual from getting access.
Someone listening right now and who is involved in doing this might be saying, wow, that's good tips for me. To hone my skills somewhat and recognize. Anyway, but you have to talk about these things, because you want people to understand the importance of having passwords that will not be easily sort of identified, if you can call it that. All right. 1-800-327-448-3284, 616-1327 if you want to send me a WhatsApp message. And if you're calling from overseas, it's 305-432-9744. Okay, so in terms of what you're saying, I am at the credit union. Do you see that a lot of people are coming into the institution, coming into the credit union, wanting more information, wanting to know more? Earlier on, you took us through the process where they have to go when they come to the NCCU or any other credit union. But do you see sort of an influx of people, gravitating towards that, wanting to do business online?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I believe it's generational, because our elders, they're the ones that told us that you need to save, put something aside, put a little halfpenny aside, a little penny aside, because there's always, today's a rainy day. It's going to be a rainy day. But we have a new generation now that they're all about, they don't have time. They never seem to have time for anything. So, and one of the things that the app has done, and one of the things that online banking has done, it has actually brought the market to you. A lot of folks say that they're in the US, or they're in Canada, or they're in England practically every day, because they can go to all the different stores, online stores, and actually purchase items. Previously, if you had to purchase an item, let's say in Guadeloupe, you had to send the francs via a boat, and then somebody had to pick it up, and then you have to send it for an uncle. You're never quite sure if the correct amount is going to get to them, and then they will send the items to you. So right now, you could sit at your home with an app, and you do your own business, and then that item comes to you. So the market comes to you, the states comes to you. A lot of people that don't even have a passport, they've been to the states more than I have. So I mean, that's the convenience of actually the app. Again, I'm not knocking cash, because I said there's always a need for cash.
Of course.
There's a need for cash at a certain level. For emergency purposes, you need to have a stash somewhere that you can tap into. Your cylinder probably goes off, or you lose cylinder always on a Sunday. I don't know why, but your cylinder is gone, and then you need to purchase a cylinder, but it's mid-month. and you've used most of your money, so the little money that you have there is for something else.
And disposable income is not easy.
Right. So it's good to have a little $50, buried in your underwear drawer somewhere, in a shoe, in a jacket somewhere. So the cylinder goes, but I am confident that I can actually tap into that. So cash is important, but with the app, with online banking, it opens things up. Of course, you can't buy a cylinder, but you could buy an electric stove. So that's the importance of having the app. We're in modern times, so we're encouraging people to move away from the falling of the lines of the carnival. The carnival
sheer convenience that it provides.
Carnival is in February, March. So wait for you to jump up in a banner among all people instead of every day having to come and stand, and then you're complaining that you're standing for too long, and then you get to the point, and then you realize that's not necessarily where you may have to go because you had to go somewhere else. So all those things are things that we're trying to avoid, and we encourage you to do the app. And I know some of the apps, I'm not too sure if my friends most likely do. What you can do, you could interact with someone directly while you're using the app. So all that is a you feel like a king, you feel like a queen, because you can sit there and you can talk to an official of the financial institution and say, well, okay, this is my problem, or you can make a request that, okay, I'm coming in tomorrow to pick up this statement, or I need this by tomorrow. So you make the request on the app, and then you can actually come in and just pick it up instead of having to wait in the line for the service. So convenience at its best.
Convenience, the sheer convenience that it provides, as I said, is just wonderful. And this quick business, no more long lines and all of that. No more standing in line. We have to get to this formal line. That mentality, it has to leave us.
Wasn't that a calypso?
Yes, of course. That was after Hurricane Maria. We were forming lines, and not. Yeah, and as I mentioned, Hurricane Maria, you mentioned, Paul, even after Hurricane Maria, we saw the need for all of that.
Oh, yeah.
But even during the COVID-19 pandemic as well, because it posed a lot of challenges. Mm-hmm. So that convenience was there.
Yeah.
People just had to take advantage of it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go back to the telephone. I think we have someone on the line. Okay, I think that person could not hold on again. So you could try 448-3284-616-1327. And 1-800-327 as well. And if you're calling from overseas, it's 305-432-9744. Cash or online application. And as we established, we're not saying that we have to do away with cash. It's not easy. It's really not easy. But we have to get into the groove and realize, yes, that's the way to go. So much paper. I can remember standing in line in banks like long ago, and someone would be counting, the teller they're counting, and hundreds of dollars counting, and you're there and you're sweating and you're tired and you want to go, and or sometimes a lot of pennies. We have to move now with the times. We have to change that mentality. And yes, it worked well in the past. Okay, it worked well, but we have to understand that things are different. Things have evolved, so we have to. Right, Mlaja?
Yes. I am just smiling at the fact that he said for the cylinder. I was thinking while he was saying that you can simply go to any of the supermarkets and scan a QR code, and the money goes from your Mlaja wallet to that of the merchant. You don't even have to have that $50 there.
There you go.
So that is an advantage. That is
and it's not for a select few.
No.
It's not for people who are seen to maybe have a big job. It's for everyone.
Everyone.
Even the person, the hair braider.
Everyone.
So
you're a roadside vendor.
Yes.
You can be part of the application.
Of course.
You're a student, you can have the application.
You're a cobbler.
It is all for convenience. Mm-hmm. It is making you want to pay your bus fare. You can use it to pay your bus fare. Mm-hmm. It is just making life more convenient.
Even in churches now,
exactly.
We see that they have.
Tell me.
They have the mobile banking information on the screen, so you can, instead of putting $5 into the collection basket.
You mean some churches have this?
Yes. You can pay automatically using your app.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good.
Yeah, you see, even Jesus in that.
I remember some stories, especially in the countryside, like going to church long ago, and people would have to wait for their change. So they put a $10 a day. You have to wait for their change and tell you, I want to put $3. So you have to give me $7. Yeah, gone are these days. I mean, we really have to move on. Definitely we have to move on.
Yeah, just a note, and it's interesting that she mentioned church. What we're asking, I think a lot of not just the individuals, but a lot of the businesses, especially around Dominica, they're a little bit averse to actually go in the online banking way because they figure it's going to be a little bit more costly. I know, for instance, if they have a card machine set up at their institution to scan your card, there's a certain fee that they pay. But what we encouraging these members, these companies to realize is that yes, there is a cost, but that cost is very minimal in terms of offering your own security. Because imagine that your business does stay open a little bit later than usual, and these days we need businesses to stay open as late as possible because you come from work, you want to buy your sugar, you want to just to pick up some items, and most of the supermarkets are closed, or the item that you need is at a particular location and that location is closed. So if of course they have more security in terms of doing online transactions where there's no cash, there's less inclination for individuals to come into your establishment and rob and steal, and then you can offer the service to the members. Yes, so there is a cost. We're not going to say for having a card machine, but also the benefit is that you can get to stay longer, you make more profits, more people come to your establishment. So those are things that they must consider. They may consider, because oftentimes you're driving around and then you get to an establishment, probably you're miles away from your home, and you may not have the cash on, and you want to actually get a service, but you only have a card, and the institution said that they don't offer that service. So it's very inconvenient for you. And the other thing is that the individuals that actually they make it their business to look at your movements. So you come from the bank and then they see you have a bulu, or the bag looks a little bigger than when you went in. So they say she has something, or he has something, or your wallet. And I know a lot of the men will like to.
Even the guys who like normally stay outside of the supermarket and they ask you for $1. When you sometimes they even look at your movement. So I realize now sometimes they don't like ask me for $1 because they would realize I was at the cashier and I did not use cash. I use a card. So they'll say, "Okay, ma'am, it's all right. Go ahead," because I know you don't have cash. So all of this.
So they look at you and they say, "Hey, the pocket looks boofed."
Yes,
as they say in the local part, the pocket looks big. I remember when I was building a long time ago, I got a checkbook, and then they put the funds on my checking account, and I was boosting if my friend look at it as a big boy, and you have the checkbook hanging from your back pocket because you figure you have. I mean, those days are gone. I mean,
and you would have to have a big wallet to let that checkbook smuggling.
Right. No, so I mean, those days are gone. Right now, I mean, the security of having cash is knowing that other people don't know that you have it, and they're not going to. So get online. Protect your investment. Go into the bank, do services. You can walk out of the bank with $100,000 on your online account, and nobody's going to know. And you could simply go to another institution and transfer that money. And nobody's going to know. So those are the benefits of actually having online secrecy.
Definitely. I remember even traveling back in the day, long ago when you were traveling, you'd collect your US, if you're going to a US country, or your US, and you have all those dollars because you want to pay the taxi man, so you have dollars there, and you have how much paper? Nah, we have to move from this. Someone is telling me via WhatsApp, good morning, the person is sending a message from the States. Please tell them that they should tell their clients to not download the Zelle app on their phone. A fraudster can gain access into it and wipe out their account, and they will not be able to get their money back. And the person is also saying they also have to tell their clients if they are suspicious about a text or email that they receive, they should call their bank before taking action.
Yes.
Right.
All right. Let's go to the telephone. Good morning.
Good morning. Just a little clarification on the zeros and O's question. It's very simple, really, that zeros and O's have completely different digital parameters, so that digitally a computer recognizes a zero as completely different from an O, so it's a very important distinction to be made. Also, on the idea of doing passwords, I found that it's a good idea to use the beginning characters of a sentence you're familiar with. So if the sentence is like, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, you can use ADICHIW, and instead of the T for two, you use a number 2, and there is something like that. Or you can use the character at for the letter A instead. Those kinds of things help you to remember your passwords, and then to have very strong passwords that are not easily active.
All right, thanks for that. Because many times, even when you sign up to do like something online, you see when they ask you for a password, so put in a password, confirm the password, and then you're saying this is a weak password.
Yes.
So yeah, that shows up. Thanks for that contribution. Look at the time already. I'm loving this discussion. I like this, but we have to end because we have another program. So we have to get closing remarks. Let's hear from you, Mlaja, then NBD. We'll end with the gentleman because we started with the ladies. So we'll end with you, right, Paul?
Thank you.
Okay, so we just want to encourage persons to download the Mlaja app. You simply go into the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and you search Mlaja. Mlaja spells MLAJN. You simply download the app, put in your information, and you're good to go. We also encourage persons to upgrade their wallet, so that means they put in their government-issued ID and all their relevant information. If they need any information, any clarification, they can go onto our website, www.mlaja.com, or they can simply send us a WhatsApp at 612-3282. We appreciate all the feedback, and the customers always reach out to us telling us, hey, they like to see this or they would prefer this, and we encourage that. So we just want to encourage persons to use the app because the app is all about convenience.
Okay, NBD.
Okay, so there is almost nothing you can do in the branch that you can't do on mobile banking. So we encourage customers to sign up for mobile banking and use it. We have been experiencing some challenges recently, for example, with our ATMs. So customers will complain that
I had to talk
ATMs
about this.
are frequently down. And this is because the introduction of the new EC dollar note, the ATMs are not able to process them as efficiently as the older notes. So we now have a strategy ongoing of changing out the ATMs. So one by one, you'll be seeing new ATMs coming up because we are listening to our customers, and we want to apologize for any inconvenience. But speaking on digital banking, it's a perfect opportunity to dip your toes in online banking. Use your cards, use your online, because if you try the ATM and it's not functioning at the time, remember that we are working on it, but you can dip your toes in mobile banking and our cards. So that's what I would like to close on.
Digital payments are typically more secure.
Yes.
Yes, Paul.
Yes, I'd like to thank my colleagues and thank DBS and Kyrie FM
Paul is so much of a gentleman,
for welcoming us and allowing us the opportunity to actually speak on our services. I welcome all our members from across Dominica and across the region and the world to know, independence is coming up. Please come to the credit union, sign up for online banking, because as soon as independence is over, you're going to be returning to your home. So you need to have that little beat on the credit union. So online banking affords you. Besides signing up at the office, you could also sign up online, because we do have the ability to print the forms and to fill out the forms and have it returned. So as soon as you receive the forms, then your online banking application will be made available to you. And again, I'm just asking everyone to be safe and enjoy the independence. And thank you.
Yeah, as you mentioned independence, I remember long ago, and that was very long ago, when people would come back home for the independence celebrations, the festive seasons, maybe Christmas time, carnival time, you would see extra long lines,
right,
at the financial institutions. That is a thing of the past.
Well, we're hoping that it is.
Wow. No more flights to the year. Tickets are sold out in terms of the VIP, I understood. So business online, that's working well.
Yes, it is.
Well.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
let me thank you for joining us this morning. I really enjoyed the discussion. The calls are still coming in. But I'm sure that, people learned from this. Very educational, I must say. Very interactive as well. Okay, so all the best. So back to work for all of you, right?
Yes.
Back to work.
Take care.
All right,
Thank
that's
you.
it.
Good day.
Thank you. And we acknowledge the contribution of Flo Dominica.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay less? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 25% on your mobile bill every month. That's money in your pocket. And now you get 15 times more data, plus free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Fast Pay, a new and easy way to pay. Fast Pay, Fast Pay.
You asked for it and got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Flow Fast Pay. 2 minutes and you're on your way. Flow Fast Pay. Flow Fast Pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
This is DBS Radio.
For all the fun and serious updates, information on Dominica.